Hello, and welcome back to another episode of My Uncomplicated Life. It's your girl Terry, back with episode 6 of season 1 of the You Can't series. Y'all gonna have to bear with me because the lighting isn't the best right here, but I am gonna do my best to still do the video. I know it's a lot of sunlight to the left of me, but it's decent lighting though, I would say, so definitely. But yeah, firstly, Um, I hope everyone's having a great day. I know for me right now it's the morning time. By the time I upload this, it's probably gonna be in the evening. I usually upload this or have it, premiere in the evening. So, but yeah, today's topic is really just being able to realize that we spend money on wants and needs, but also what we spend money on shows what we prioritize. Now, prioritization is very important because um, it really shows what we're willing to spend our money on, and there are features on debit cards and credit cards that show it's like a spend analyzer. So it kind of does an analysis of what you spend your money on. Now, of course, some people, if they're using cash, they can definitely keep their track of their receipts, and through that they can be able to analyze, like I'm talking about physical cash. You can keep track of what you spend your money on by maybe keeping all your receipts by the end of the month and then just looking over them and being like, okay, this is what I spent my money on. So it's no excuse, to be able to do that analysis even if you don't use debit cards or credit cards. But most people these days use those things. So they have features where you can look back and kind of see what you spend your money on, but also they may do percentages. They may say you spent this percentage on food, you spent this percentage on entertainment, like movies and stuff like that. They may say you spent this percentage on bills and stuff like that. So it really shows like where your priorities are and what's most important to you. Now, I definitely understand if a person may put a want over a need if they feel like that need is not immediate. Like if somebody may need to take care of a particular expense that they need to take care of, but maybe they can hold off on it and budget to where they may do something else that they prefer to give them peace of mind, like going to the spa, getting the hair and nails done to maintain self care. It could be doing your favorite activity, like going out to eat, going out to the movies, just a peace of mind. Sometimes those things may be more important at the forefront at a certain time because some of them are self care, but yeah, some of them are entertainment, like going out to the movies, for example, or going out to a restaurant, for example. They may not be necessarily needs, but technically to that person, it may be what they feel that they need in that moment if that's going to help them to have peace of mind or to relax, and it just helps with their mental health to have something fun and entertaining to do. So understanding that too, sometimes people may, if they have a need that they should put money to, if they can hold off on it for a while in order to be able to do fun stuff, I can see how that helps because we're not just meant to just spend money on bills and be serious all the time. Life is meant to be fun as well. Not to say that you should ever neglect bills or anything like that, because you always should make sure that's taken care of. Thank God for his provision and the resources that he provides and to use them wisely. But also, we don't want to be too restricted. We want to be able to enjoy our life. So saying all that to say, usually what a person prioritizes and values, that's what they're going to spend money on. I believe the Bible says where your treasure is, your heart will be there also. So it just makes sense to think about, what you value, you're going to put your energy, your time, your resources, your money, all that toward it. And it's interesting because the Bible says, love the Lord your God with all your might, your soul, your strength, your resources, with everything you have. Love the Lord your God with everything. And then to love your neighbor as you love yourself. So when you think about it, it's like, wow, the Lord is truly faithful. You spread that love and positivity. It goes a long way. But including in that, how we use our money, it shows our reverence for the Lord, and it just shows responsibility and discipline. So, but yeah, I think it's definitely good to look back on your monthly expenses, maybe for a good 30, 31 days, to be like, okay, this is what I spend it on. Do I like what I'm spending it on, or do I not like what I'm spending on? Am I spending a little too much on this and not enough on that? It's good to analyze that, to see, like, okay, if your spending is not actually how you would like to prioritize it, you can switch it up. Like, you don't have to stay stuck in the same cycle. You can actually make updates to it to where it can be more of what you desire to spend it on. So I think that's a really good thing to reflect upon. Without reflecting upon that, it could really take away from certain things. So I would say it's important to just be able to analyze that. Definitely. So as I'm wrapping up, comment below in the comment section if you've ever reviewed, your finances, and you felt like there were a few things you could switch up, and then maybe also how you ended up switching it up. Like, what was your plan? What did you do? You don't have to go into a lot of detail, but just a little bit. Like, you may say, oh, I realized I was spending a little too much on eating out, so I cut back on that. Or you may say, oh, I realized instead of getting the expensive salon nails, I decided to get press-ons for a little bit, or do my own nails, some gel nails, manicure or something. Things like that. Like, if you did that reflection, let me know in the comment section. For me, I would say I love to eat out. It does help me to feel relaxed, to eat a good meal, and I gotta eat anyway, so I'd be like going out. But there are moments where I do be like, okay, even though this helps me to regulate, it helps me to feel cool, calm, and collected to eat out sometimes, sometimes I do be like, okay, I'm just going to make sure my meals at home are really good and stuff. I don't have to always go out. So sometimes I cut back on that. Also, too, as much as possible, I just like to make sure my natural nails are kept up, and healthy as much as possible. Sometimes they grow out, sometimes they don't, but I don't necessarily prefer to go back and forth to a nail salon. The last time I got my nails done, I didn't even know what I was doing. Like, I was telling the guy, like, okay, you can stop cutting here. When he was clipping the nails, was it a guy? Or it may have been a lady. I was like, okay, you can stop here. I can't remember if it was a guy or a lady, but I was like, okay, you can stop here. But it was still too long. I didn't realize it till after. I'm like, okay, these are too long. Then also, the person had forgotten to put the rhinestones on. So then I had to get, like, they had to start back and then put the rhinestones. It was a lot. But the nails look really nice, though. But it was a lot. So and it was expensive, too. It was expensive as well. So I just try to budget, and if I don't necessarily feel like I need nails, I don't get it. But if I really want a manicure, like, I'll get it. It's not a big deal to me. So basically, each of us, we have our different prioritizations and what we prioritize. But I hope you have a blessed one. Know that you are loved, you are cared for, and you're valued, especially by God. So have a blessed day. Peace.